guys, welcome back to the channel. I am recording this as an intro because I didn't actually record a official looking one for this video. The day of the fashion show, I actually had really bad cramps. So when I got up, I totally felt awful and I just pretty much jumped out of bed late, mind you, ran around the house grabbing everything that I thought I would need. My husband dropped me off at the train station, which was amazing because I don't think I would have made it on time if it wasn't for his help. And then once I got to the show, that's where this video picks up. So you start the video off backstage at the actual show with me and some of the other models. Okay, I'm gonna come back at the end of this video because I want to tell you a little bit more details about how the show itself went and then also how I felt about the whole experience afterwards. So I'll catch you in a bit.
One on mine? That's okay. We're taking videos! Oh my gosh! It's just Instagram. Damn, call me and I can... Okay.
Okay, we gotta go for rehearsal. At this point, we're backstage. I already put on my outfit, but I'm a little bit concerned about spillage. So hopefully that doesn't happen and it doesn't become a thing. I tried like tying it in the center. You can't really save it. Yeah, hopefully no wardrobe malfunctions. I'm excited.
No nip slips.
Yeah, no nip slips. You want to say hi?
Yeah.
Do you want help putting that on?
No, I'm good.
This is my friend Christy.
We're doing this journey together.
Yeah. I think she looks gorgeous.
Oh, I appreciate it. You did too, though.
I'm thinking featured for like behind the scenes. Is that okay?
Yeah, those are demo.
I'm just.
Let me
randomly.
adjust my legs though, because I don't want anything showing. Okay. As long as nothing's showing.
You can show us in our mess.
Yeah, I think as long as the sides stay in, we're good. I'm gonna go back to eating my fruit snacks and I will catch you guys later. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you had fun watching. I had fun editing it for you. It's kind of interesting because as I'm editing this video, there's a lot going on with like America's Next Top Model popping back up and like being like a big trend and stuff like that. Like every time I go on TikTok, I'm seeing like people doing like spoofs of it. Like when you told Tyra that you like almost died from like a slipper and she has you posing like this. You know what I mean? Like kind of random, you know, whatever. Anyways, so how I felt after the show. To be completely honest, the fashion show went better and worse than I thought. So for the first walk, I was wearing like the kind of crocheted outfit that you saw. That went pretty well. The only thing is like watching it back, I feel like I can see my bodybuilder background in the way that I walk. And I'm like, oof, I don't know how I would have made it more modelly, but I feel like I can see that a little bit. And it kind of bugs me a little bit. But overall, it went okay. No slips, no falls, nothing showing, you know. And I felt pretty hyped after the first walk. The second walk was the wedding dress, and I was feeling okay about it backstage before walking, but at the very start of my walk, there's an area where there's stairs. And as I was going up the stairs, my dress, which had like kind of a cape thing, it wasn't really sleeves, but like on my shoulders, it had like this lace cape thing, and then I had my veil. So it's like two different things. So I'm pretty sure it was the cape that was on my shoulders got caught around the bottom of my shoe. And I noticed that before I even started my walk. I noticed that when I was first going up the stairs to actually walk and do the show. So internally, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what do I do? And I felt like it's gonna be really unprofessional and awkward if I'm like bent over, like fumbling with it. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll try and like, you know, do some like, you know, motion and try and like uncatch it. That did not work. So I basically tried my best to look elegant while trapped in my dress the whole time. And I just felt really bad afterwards. Like I felt like I could have done such a better job if I wasn't just trapped in my dress. And I started to get in my head a little bit about it. But then I looked around at the other models and they all worked so hard for the like show. They had been practicing. And then Maria, who is the owner of the agency that I work with, I'll put that in the description, by the way, if you're interested. She was just, I felt like she was trying to be everywhere at once, and like, you know, she was, you know, checking on the models, making sure they're okay, checking on the guests for the show, just doing a really great job of trying to take care of everybody. And the girls around me are all like giving it their best effort. So the last thing I wanted to do was like get like, you know, kind of like a stank attitude because I got caught in my dress. And then after the show, then here come all the photos right here. And I'm like, actually, these don't look so bad. Like, they're actually pretty good. Like, I actually feel really good about the photos. Shout out to our photographer. His information is also going to be in the description. But yeah, I really appreciated the opportunity. I appreciated the opportunity to walk, the opportunity to work with my agent, the models, the photographer, the people that came to watch us, because that was cool. I remember like as I was walking back and my dress was caught in the wedding dress, I remember making eye contact with one of the ladies in the audience, and I could see the empathy in her face, like she was concerned. Like she was one of the people that had definitely noticed that my foot was caught in the dress, and she just looked like, please be okay, you know? And I felt the empathy. So, you know, like it was a good experience overall. The other thing that, like, I don't know how much I'll go into it, and I don't know if this is a conversation you guys want to hear more about, because this is not really what I typically post on the channel, but I know some of y'all were interested, so here we are. So while we're here, the other thing is, like, all my life, I've always kind of, like, prided myself or, like, attributed my, you know, the cool thing I can bring to the table to other things besides my aesthetic. Like, don't get me wrong, like when I was in my early 20s and I was working on my art major, I was working my way through school. So I did fashion retail at that time, and I loved playing around with my outfits and, like, you know, how crazy can I get but still feel kind of fashion and still sell the clothes? That was fun to me. But it was, I don't know if this makes sense, but it was more of like an artistic thing than like a me focused thing. Like, I felt like I looked okay, but it was more like, look, I paired like some jeans with like, you know, big boxy 80s blazer and some like, you know, pointy earrings and stuff. Like, I'm edgy. You know what I mean? Like, that was kind of like my thing. I thought it was fun to play around with looks and styles. And as I've gotten older, all of like the effort and like creativity and passion I used to put into my art, I drifted away from that a little bit. And that's something I'm trying to refocus on in 2026. So, going back to the topic of modeling, I feel like it was a situation in which I had to look at myself a little bit differently than I usually look at myself. Like, if I were to introduce myself to you, and maybe we can do a separate video if you want to do that, I would bring up other things. I wouldn't think to bring up how I looked. As long as, you know, like I'm presentable, I would be thinking about other things that are like my winning factor. You know what I mean? So to do an event or do an opportunity that was very much looks focused was very interesting. And then the other thing is, like, I was the only black model in the show, and being a black African American, I feel like that also kind of made me start thinking about like American beauty standards, and the show was in Japan, so perhaps Japanese beauty standards as well. The owner of the agency that I put in the description for you is really promoting an inclusive and like diverse approach to modeling. And the models in the show, there were so many different like nationalities and backgrounds that were represented, so that was really cool. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, it did make me think about like culture and beauty standards, and maybe have to look at myself, or have an opportunity to look at myself in a different way than I have been doing lately. So I think coming away from the show has been a little bit of a time of reflection as far as that's concerned. And to be 100% honest, I still don't know exactly how I feel about some of the thoughts that started to come up. But yeah, that was my experience. If you guys have questions or there's something I didn't cover, please let me know and we can have more of a conversation about it. These are just the things that came to mind at the moment, so I wanted to share them with you and say thank you for watching. Thank you for following the journey to the show. I'll see you later, and bye!